Alright everyone, welcome back. Yeah, it's a bit of a late video, but I'm just sitting watching the football, and I decided I may as well fucking fire out a full card breakdown. While I'm just sitting here, may as well I don't really necessarily like this card, but like from batting perspective anyway, a lot of late pullouts and all this, and fucking Matt Snell pulls out, like Tyson against him, so it did. Um, What else come off the card? Let me see. Oh, Thiago Santos, obviously. Um, yeah, it's just weird. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, overviews. Um, oh yeah, Overeem versus Sakai plus 12 units. 1-0 on pre-fight bets, and then 3-2 live bets. So it was a good night for us there. Contender series during the week, 8.5 units profit. We had Blackleach. We went big on Blackleach. Doubled up. We had him pre-fight bet and then live bet. Doubled down on him. Yeah. So UFC card tonight. As I said, it's only going to be a quick breakdown, but I'll just sure we'll see how it goes. Brock Weaver versus Jalen Turner. To be honest, I just think Brock Weaver is, a lot of people say about always fade the contender series guys or whatever, but honestly, Brock Weaver he fits in that category. He's not a guy that is exceptional anywhere technically. He's not really a guy you ever want to bet on ever, to be honest. You kind of want to fade him, as I say. He's decent he's okay on the feet. It's probably where his only, or like his somewhat, game stands out, but at the same time, seeing the Roosevelt Roberts fight, if he if it starts to go against him, he kind of flicks. So this is what I expect to happen in the Jalen Turner fight tonight. Jalen Turner coming in 3 days notice or whatever, but he was meant to fight last week. But Moises got COVID. That's right. But Jalen Turner, good kicker, very long. Not the best hands. I mean, they're getting there, but by saying that, I mean not necessarily in the nicest boxing, the most crisp boxing, but he's better on the feet than Brock Weaver. So, lane opened up. Let me check. Where are we? Jalen Turner. Where's bet online? Bet online. Minus 450? No way. No, he was. No, I've seen people here. Know a few people who have bet on Jalen Turner minus 250. He opened up here, Ireland, UK. So I didn't think that was bad, but personally, a couple of days notice, it's a lot to ask for in the 250 margin, but I'm gonna go with Jalen Turner. What was my actual method for this fight? Let me check the full card predictions in Discord. Jalen Turner by TKO. I'll go with that one. Alexander Romanov versus Martinez. Romanov meant to fight De Lima last week. Had a 2-unit bet on him last week against De Lima. De Lima comes out, the Brazilian, with COVID. Gets pulled from the card, which is shocking, like, with the amount of Brazilians and stuff testing positive. Just, Bolsonaro. But whatever. I haven't actually done tape on Martinez, but Romanov, very strong grappler. Elite Greco-Roman wrestling, especially in the heavyweight division. Doesn't attack, freestyle wrestling takedowns, like such as double legs, single legs. It's mostly body locks, suplexes, and stuff of that nature. But I have no clue about Rocky Martinez. He's obviously came in on a week's notice. Maybe less than a week. I have no clue. Apparently, He has decent get-up game from what I've read, but same time, I just think he's going to get destroyed here by Romanov. So Romanov by TKO, I'll say. So Julia Avila versus Sarge Eubanks. Julia Avila absolutely steamrolled Gina Mazzani in her last fight. When was that? June. What card was that actually? I versus Calvillo. Julia Avila, very powerful on the feet, good striking. So she'll have an advantage there against Sakai Eubanks, especially in rounds 2 and 3. But to be honest, I can see it's kind of similar to the Rosa fight. I can see Eubanks coming out as she does round 1, starting strong, being competitive for the first 5 minutes, maybe win the round. Round will be close. With her very crisp boxing, Eubanks has. It's actually underrated part of her game, her boxing. She has a good check left hook and stuff, and she's very tight in the pocket. For the first 5 minutes anyway, but after that I can see Julia Villa just taking over really, and really putting it on Eubanks as she slows down. She slowed down against Morris. She obviously and famously gassed against Betchkohea, where I actually played her. I actually played Eubanks in that one. Couldn't believe it. Didn't come through for me, but obviously Betchkohea deserved the decision, but I was just pissed. So yeah, I think Eubanks slows down here. Avila takes over. Most likely gets a decision. Cannot see Avila knocking out Eubanks unless it's like a third round ground and pound finish, to be honest. So Julia Avila by decision. Bobby Green versus Alan Patrick. Haven't seen Alan Patrick in, what is it, 2 years. So he's coming off 2-year layoff. Looked terrible against Scott Holtzman, to be honest. And Scott Holtzman's takedown defense is not as good as Bobby Green's. Alan Patrick likes to try and wet blanket these guys, take them down, work his ground game. He has decent wrestling for Brazilian. Brazilians mostly famous for jiu-jitsu and the lack of takedowns, but Patrick actually has decent takedowns. But the only thing is Bobby Green, very elite takedown defense. We've seen it in the Clay Guida fight, Lando Venata 2 fight there last month. That's actually a very quick turnaround here, but I think Bobby Green's coming in this fight, a lot of momentum. He's been minus 250 favourite in his... he's minus 250 against Clay Guida, and then he's minus 250 here. I like Green here, I do. Better output on the feet, very crisp boxing. He seems like he's evolving, to be honest. His game's getting better as he's 34 now. Coming in much higher momentum here than Alan Patrick, who's plagued with injuries the last 2 years. Hasn't fought in 2 years, and relies on like a one-dimensional skill game type of thing. He is gonna take Bobby Green down, but I don't think he will be able to take him down. I've got Bobby Green by decision. I don't like the line where it is minus 250, but if it was at like 180, definite, that would be a big bet. But minus 250 into 275 range, no, not for me. Sabina Mazu versus Justine Kish. Justine Kish, whatever. Justine Kish against Padalova, for me, did not look good. Looked very awkward, really fucking weird on the feet, like her movement and stuff. She was coming in the range against Padalova and just throwing like a kick and then disengaging, and then running, circling around, throwing a kick, disengaging, and every time she was on the outside, she just looked like she didn't want to be hit, or she didn't really fucking like being in either kicking range or boxing range against Pavlova. And then when you're speaking about Sabina Mazo, a Congolese kickboxer, well, kickboxing background, should I say. Very good Muay Thai clinch. Very good playing like the long game. To be honest, Sabina Mazo probably plays the long game better than any other women's 135er. Um, to be honest, just the way she fights, she has a lot of kicks, a lot of straight punches, jabs. Um, Not much hooks. She's smart with her range. She has very good output. Sabina Mazo does, and her cardio's endless. In the JJ Aldridge fight, I had a good few units on Sabina Mazo and then doubled down on her live at some ridiculous odds. She was like 2.5 to 1 live, so she was, which was just stupid because it was 1-1 going into the third, and then she was like 2.5 to 1 in the third and stuff, and then her odds just get steamed, but I get on her before her odds steamed. So that was the one that came through for me. I like Sabina Mazo, to be honest. And then she showed in the Shayna Dobson fight that her wrestling's coming along. No, she's not all like a one-trick pony. The wrestling games came along a decent way, especially being not being a Native American or Russian, nations that have really good wrestling game. She comes from Colombia. I'd say primarily a kickboxer, but she's incorporating that wrestling game ever so more in their fights. Is that the Alejandra Lara? I think it's the Bellator one. Yeah, she holds a win over her, so Lara's very good. She has some good wins on her record. JJ Aldridge, Lara. Dobson's good, not bad, it's okay. But I can just see, as I say, Justine Kish in the last fight against Pavlova, she was confused at range. Just weirdly confused at range. She didn't like being on the outside, and also she didn't like being on the end of punches and kicks against Pavlova. And then when you compare Mazo's game and Pavlova's game, Mazo's a better, longer ranger kickboxer. So Kish has never been stopped, so I like Mazo by decision here, to be honest. More than anything, just she's gonna outvolume her for decision victory. Kish is too durable to be put away. And that is my 2 cents on that fight. Next fight up, Topology haven't updated their site, which is have. Sorry, my bad. I just hadn't updated yet. So Roberts versus Kevin Crim. All these pullouts are annoying. Matt Frivola obviously getting pulled out of this fight due to a fractured foot here, it says in Topology. We had one unit on Matt Frivola, so we did, at dog odds. So I'm pissed off about that, because I thought it was a good fight for Frivola if he could mix in takedowns. Roosevelt Roberts, like, long, rangy kickboxer with, his ground game's decent. Like, his jiu-jitsu game, it's not bad, but his wrestling game, it's not great. He doesn't have much wrestling game, but his chokes, his sweeps, his top game, all decent, good, not bad, but likes to stay at range from kickboxing, range on the feet. We seen him get tapped out by Jim Miller in the first round in that fight, in his last performance, which is, it's not a good look, but Jim Miller's a dog, like, you can't really cut him out. Kevin Crim, I actually haven't done tape on him because Robert's way too big of a favourite for me to bet here. I actually don't know Crim at all, to be honest. Obviously he's Bellator and LFA veteran, but he's fought some decent competition. Derek Minner, Matt Bazette, not bad. But, I have to give the edge to Roberts here. And I'm going to say by sub. Kevin Crim also coming in short notice for his fight, obviously. Let me see. Billy Quarantillo versus Ken Nelson. Quarantillo, he defeated Spike Carlisle in his most recent fight. I scored it for Quarantillo, so I live bet him. I'm not just being biased. I thought he did win it. It was close. Carlisle obviously started out strong, gassed hard, tried to get Quarantillo out there, but Quarantillo was just very durable. Quarantillo is one of these guys that he's comfortable with giving round one away. He's comfortable letting himself be settled into the groove of the fight and then coming on strong later when his superior cardio game takes over these fighters who can't really match him. Pace for pace. His cardio is very good, Quarantillo. Ken Nelson, he's the one that knocked out Polares. I had him in that fight. I bet him, actually. Yeah, I did. I had a good few units on Ken Nelson. Actually by knockout, because Polares' chin is just dust, but Ken Nelson, he's sort of round one or bust, to be honest. Well, for me anyway, he's very strong on round one and then slows down after that primarily. Actually holds a win over Kama Wither. He's on this card when Kama was fighting at 145. Back in his weight cutting days, but I like Quarantillo here. Not all sure about the lane. It's far too wide, but I do think he gets it done. I'll just say, like, if he was like minus 160, I would have played him, but minus 280, nah, that's heavy duty stuff. I don't like it personally, but maybe a good live bet fit. I'm gonna go with Quarantillo by sub in that one. Alright, so Alan Patrick versus Bobby Green. We've already went through this fight. My bad. It's just with the Topology rearranging their order. Let me see. Brand Barberina versus Anthony Ivy. Brand Barberina, he's been out for like 13 months with... he had back surgery, so he did, and then I was listening to an interview he done with James Lynch. I'm pretty sure it was James Lynch. Don't quote me on that, but he said he ballooned up to 260 pounds, which is crazy. Where are we? And obviously, yeah, he's welterweight, so like he put on 90 pounds whenever he was injured in lockdown and stuff, and that's a bit crazy to me. That's a bit of a red flag. I actually haven't checked out how he looked at weigh-ins yesterday, but what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, obviously the weight, putting on the weight is a bit crazy, but the Randy Brown fight, I thought it was a winnable fight for him, and then, winnable fight for Randy Brown actually. I bet Randy Brown that one. He's a pretty big dog, I think. Yeah, almost 2-1. I didn't get him at 2-1, but I got him at like plus 180 or something, I remember. And then I took his money line because Barberina's tough. Like, he's hard to get out of there. We've seen that in the Luque fight. Which again, I had Luque by TKO and I was sweating because fucking 6 seconds away and it was going to be a decision. And, it could have went either way off it in terms of the judges' scorecards, because Barberina made it competitive. He's got a crazy chin. He's hard to put away with actual punches. Pretty sure it was a body shot which done it against Randy Brown, which led to, Barberina covering up. But it's hard to discount Brand Barberina for, losing against Randy Brown Vicente Luque. That's two hard fights, but at the same time, he's probably too much big of a favourite here. Anthony Avey, seen it in the Christian Aguilera fight. Once he get hit once with a clean shot, he didn't like it. Not sure what it was, whether he didn't respect Aguilera's power, because I think he did. I just think it's either his chin isn't great, or I don't know. I just don't think he likes getting hit. I was weird that fight. Let me see, was the underdog in that fight? I'm pretty sure he was. No, he's favourite. Shit, that's crazy. To be honest, I think Brand Barberina, better boxer on the feet here than Anthony Avey. He's bigger fighter. And I think he's just a class apart from... Actually, he's not the bigger fighter. Excuse me. Well, maybe in the off season after surgery, he's a bigger fighter. But what was I gonna say? I think he's just different. I think he's just a class apart from Anthony Avey on the feet. He's been in there with some of the good guys of the weight class: Covington, Edwards, Luque. And then when you look at Avey's competition, he get knocked out against Christian Aguilera. Didn't look great. -200 favourite. Didn't go for him that one. Brand Barberina's a dog, but Brand Barberina for me is someone you want to play if he's the underdog, because he will fight for your money. Maybe he didn't against Randy Brown, but usually he fights for your money anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Brand Barberina by TKO. And what's interesting enough, I bet Barberina by TKO was 5-1 on William Hill, so they totally messed that line up. It was meant to be 11-10 plus 110, but they messed it up, and then they changed the odds of the bet. I got an email through, they changed the odds, and reverted it back to the correct odds, which was 11-10, but they wouldn't cancel the bet for me. So I'm stuck with Brand Barberina by TKO, which was meant to be at 5-1, but is now at 11-10, which is annoying. But I mean, I knew what it was doing. It was the odds were off. It was clear mistake, but I had to take the risk. I thought they would cancel it for me, but suppose not, which is annoying, but well, it is what it is. Ed Herman versus Mike Rodriguez, 205 division. Mike Rodriguez, who knocked out Pragnio, was it a couple of weeks ago? Yeah. What card was that? Munoz Edgar. Pragnio, he's bad. He's very chinny guy, and he's not UFC quality, so don't read into that fight too much. And then gets knocked out by Jung, and then can't actually remember who won this fight against John. Let me see. It's a no contest, but I can't remember who won it actually on the fight night. I watched the first 2 rounds of it the other day when I was taping this fight, and I just turned it off because I seen what I had to see. But Mike Rodriguez, long rangy kicker, I would say. Decent elbows. We've seen that in the Pragnio fight. Good elbows. Decent in the clinch. Tries to fight long more than anything. 82.5 inch reach. Big guy for the weight class. Bigger than Ed Herman anyway. But Ed Herman's 2-1 here. Ed Herman, the vet, very durable guy. Solid boxing, always in the fight. Nice left hook. He counters very well. He lets you come into his striking range, into his personal space, and then he fires off check left hooks, shots. So he's going to be counter striking this fight, while Rodriguez going to look to fight long, and I think it's just going to be like the John Allen fight. I think it's going to pan out a wee bit more, so I think it'll go to the third round and beyond, maybe scorecards. But Mike Rodriguez, he has a better output on UFC stats. Let me see. He obviously longer fighter. I can just see Mike Rodriguez just kicking him for 15 minutes with the tapes and knees and stuff like that. And Ed Herman just being behind the black lines, looking to counter punch, looking to knock him out. But as I say, don't overlook Ed Herman, because he is a good dog, the whaley vet. But I've got Rodriguez by decision there personally. Andrea Lee versus Roxanne Modafferi. Haven't bothered doing tape for this fight. Obviously, what do you call it? Modafferi won the first fight. It's the rematch taking better. Modafferi's almost 40 now. Andrea Lee's in her fighting prime. If Modafferi can't get Andrea Lee down, there's trouble there, obviously. But it's not like she's going to be knocked out. Definitely not. Andrea Lee's either decision. Andrea Lee will only win by decision, in my opinion. She's not going to knock out Modafferi. But minus 300, like, there's no way I could play that on Andrea Lee. While I do think she wins, I think the value's with Modafferi. So if you're one of these value bettors, which I would say I am sometimes, but I like winners mostly. So I think Andrea Lee pieces Modafferi up on the feet. Doesn't get knockout, but out volumes her for a decision victory in that one. Modafferi, the always tough Roxanne. Yeah, so Lee by decision there. Camel Worthy versus Otman Azaitar. I taped this fight a couple of weeks ago actually, or maybe it was last week. Tail end of last week. Azaitar, we seen in the Martinez fight, he kind of slowed down and then got like a second wind. He didn't get Martinez out of the first round, and then he slowed down for a second, or for obviously a couple of minutes, and fucking got like a second win in the third round, and ends up knocking Martinez out with a kick. He showed he has a second win, but at the same time, Camel Worthy, he will have the cardio advantage here, but I just think round one is going to be interesting. I think most likely Worthy catches, fuck's sake, done it again. I think most likely Azaitar catches Worthy in this, crazy round one what will happen. Because both of them are just going to be swinging for the bleachers, and I would give the power advantage to Otman, obviously. Otman's the plus 110 underdog here, and I actually thought he would be like a big or a moderate size favourite for this one. I thought he's going to be in minus 140 range by fight night, to be honest. But obviously he's not. Right now you can get a Zaitar by finish like 2-1. And if there is a play I would make for this fight, it definitely would be that. Because Azaitar, while a short guy for the division, he just packs a punch. And he packed a punch at welterweight. And obviously he packs a punch at his natural weight class at 155. Seen that in the Packlin fight, where I bet Azaitar, I'm pretty sure. By TKO as well. Because I knew it's just they had no match for each other, and I thought that was style. I thought that was a matchup favor to Azaitar style, and I thought UFC were doing that sort of deliberately because the fight was in Abu Dhabi. Azaitar from Morocco, Muslim connection there, and what do you call it? He just packs a punch. Short guy, but fucking brick hand. He just puts people to sleep. But if he doesn't put him out, it'll be interesting. If he doesn't put Worthy out in the first round, it'll get sticky. Saying that, Worthy hasn't been finished at 155. All of his finishes come at 145, where he was depleting himself. Campbell Worthy was a very big 145er, to be honest. Like, why did he even make that cut? So I am wrong. Against Paul Felder, Worthy was at 155 to get finished, so he hasn't get finished at 155 in 8 years. But to be honest, I can't see him being finished here. I think the fight gets wild, and his Itar catches him with one of those powerful hooks he has. Just puts Worthy to sleep. So I'm going to go with his Itar by TKO there. Now for the main event, Michelle Waterson, Angela Hill. Really poor main event, to be honest. It shouldn't be a main event, but it is what it is. Obviously, Waterson, Hill are filling in for Teixeira and Santos. I will give the edge to, in this fight, Angela Hill, because one, Waterson does a lot of like shadow punching, would you say? Shadow striking. She strikes like out in the open, but none of them actually ever hit her opponent. She just does it to look good and to keep her opponent away. So it's sort of become like a joke thing among the MMA community, you know. Waterson, when she's trying to, you know, put something on these girls, she never does. Type of thing is what I'm trying to say. Especially in striking at range. But the same can't be said for Angela Hill. She just gets stuck in. She good Muay Thai striker. We've seen that in the Luke Bumi fight, Luke Bumi has like over 100 Muay Thai fights, Thai champion and stuff in her native homeland, obviously. And while it, you know, this is MMA, Angela Hill outstruck her for 3 rounds. But the level of competition obviously favours Michelle Waterson. She's been in there with the best of the division. Joanna, Rose, former title challenger, Carolina, champion, Esparza. So, you know, obviously Michelle Waterson has the advantage in the competition here. But in terms of stats, Angela Hill has the higher strikes landed per minute. So she does. So I think the rounds are going to be close. And if the rounds are going to be close, I have to get it to the longer fighter and the higher output fighter in Angela Hill. But let me see what odds Angela Hill is right now. So 5 to 6, 6 to 7, like minus 190, or sorry, minus 110. I don't have a problem with her being favoured, but personally, I would like to, if I was going to play her, I would rather play her at dog odds, obviously, because there is a competition level difference here, but, you know, if Michelle Waterson does that head and arm throw that she loves, she does it, tries it in every single fight she's in. If she gets on top of Hill, she'll cause her some trouble. She could rack up points in that way on the ground, which would be interesting if it happens. But for me, it's a live bat fight, but don't see any fighter finishing each other, so I'm gonna go with Angela Hill by decision in this one, for reasons mentioned before. So that is the card wrapped up. Obviously, just a quick breakdown before the card started, a few hours before. You know, it's just watching football, bored me as well, why not? But I like next week's card, so most likely I'll have a video away for that as well, so I'll see you then.